Look alive, sunshine. Today we are talking about a random topic. Why are the Thor movies everybody's least favorites besides The Incredible Hulk in the MCU? I was scrolling through Letterboxd the other day and I just saw some links on Twitter and I was just, fucking around with the app and everything or whatever the website. And I just ran across a bunch of people's MCU list and favorite movies, like of all time, favorite superhero movies, just shit like that. And I noticed that Thor is always at the bottom. Now, when I first got into like superheroes, like movies and the Twitter and everything about it, Thor: The Dark World was coming out like in a year or two. So I was like pretty hyped for Thor: The Dark World. And when I went in, I didn't expect much because I didn't know what to base my expectations on because I hadn't seen what the MCU could do. And then I watched Thor and I was like, that was like the first, I watched Iron Man and then I watched Thor, and those are the only two I watched before the Avengers movie. And then I went back and watched everything else. But I watched those movies, and Thor was always like a cool character. I don't understand why everybody was hating on him. So I did some research. We are going to be running down the critic reviews for Thor and the fan reviews for Thor, and then just like all around reviews for Thor: The Dark World, because if I did all the reviews for every movie, it would kind of be too long of a video. So I just thought, let's talk about the main Thor movie and then Thor: The Dark World. So I'm going to be reading off these critic reviews first and telling you what they say, and you can read along with me because they will be right on the screen now. David Sexton says, it's hard to get very involved in fighting when it's between immortals and there aren't really any physical constraints or consequences, don't you find? Jeffrey Lyles says, strikes a mighty blow, nice pun, to the summer blockbuster season and will charge up audiences just like the first Iron Man. Luke Buckmaster says, drab, bloated and stuck together with special effects that look like high-end Microsoft screensavers. Roger Ebert says the story might perhaps be adequate for an animated film for children, with Thor, Odin, and others played by piglets. In the arena of movies about comic book superheroes, it is a whatever that word is, devastation. This guy thinks he knows how to write. Tom Charity for CNN.com. Thor is on much safer ground here on Earth. The tone is immediately different, more relaxed, comic, not cosmic. Will Chadwick says, Thor is terrific fun. It's aware of its own silliness, but made with complete integrity and heart. The film is also beautifully designed and very well performed, a great summer blockbuster. So what is the good in those reviews? The good is it's a good popcorn, like homie said, summer flick, action, gets everybody ready for the Avengers. And then everybody just reworded that in some way. And then everybody that didn't like it, they had problems with the hand-to-hand combat, Asgard being too childish, and then bad special effects. Now, shall we look at some fans and what they thought about the movie? 007W says, Thor isn't a bad movie. It's, well, the story is weak, but I like it. It's pretty funny. The action is good. The movie is a little cliche. The acting is pretty good, but in terms of movie, it's okay. Great. Love the family drama and the fantasy elements and lots of great humor. That's what Dylan L. said. Elton G said the story may drag a little and there may be a certain lack of action, but Thor makes up for it with humor, good acting, and well-handled character development. Johnny T says the end fight was great, but Thor 2 was better. And then Joseph L. says it is understandable that the film was needed to set up for the Avengers, however, that doesn't excuse the generic plot, which makes this utterly forgettable. So, the fans had to say that they liked the acting, they liked the cool battle scenes, and they liked the whole idea of Asgard and the fun of like the mythology of Greek mythology and Norse mythology, and just those characters in Asgard as a whole world. And then the bad, they didn't really like the story, and then the special effects, they were on the same page as the critics. They kind of felt like they were a little not finished. What I agree with about those critics and fans, I think that the movie had okay effects for its time. I didn't really notice anything blatantly obvious bad, but now that they pointed it out, I went back and looked at some screenshots for this video, and it was a little, iffy, but, you can't blame it because obviously we're in a newer time, and some of these reviews are from, like, this year, which I don't understand, but it's weird that people are still posting reviews, but maybe their expectations have been a little higher now since all the technology has come, and if you look back, technology has changed in the past few years, and it will continue to change, but I don't know, you just kind of gotta let it slide since it's from so long ago. And I also do agree that the fight scenes were lacking. There are no good hand-to-hand combat fight scenes, like fast, well done, well choreographed fight scenes. It was more just hammer throwing hammer, hitting something, something shattering. That's basically what everything was. That's what the fight scenes were, and there was no like art to it. There was no. I know that sounds like so like stupid, but there was nothing there but just like big blows and nothing that's small and cool little moves or anything. But that's really the only things that I agree with about them. What I disagree with, I disagree about the plot. I like the plot. I like that Thor was banished. I like that Loki and that villain, and then Odin being sort of the antagonizer to Thor because of him banishing him, and just everything about the plot I thought was good and well put together and well thought out. And I also liked Asgard. I liked the whole idea of it. I liked the mythology of it. I liked the characters. I liked the costumes. I liked the sets. I like everything about Asgard. I don't know why people thought it was childish. It was that one guy, wasn't it? It was that one ass, wasn't it? It was what was his name? Roger Ebert. Whatever. Yeah, he thinks he knows shit. He's talking about Chicago Sun-Times. He's old. He doesn't understand. So now I'm going to read off some of the Thor: The Dark World reviews from Rotten Tomatoes. And I know some of you will say Rotten Tomatoes isn't the best place to get your information, but it was the best place for me because it had all the the reviews lined up by critics and by the fans and by Rotten and by Fresh. So it's very easy for me to find these. So don't hate on Rotten Tomatoes, but I do hate them for what they're doing to the DCEU. Christopher Orr says, that's a funny name, though hardly a must-see, Thor: The Dark World is better than the original, a looser, loopier hybrid of science fiction and fantasy powered by a pair of magnetic forces and leavened with a number of truly witty moments. Damian Straker, okay, what's that about? Another dull, achingly generic story about saving the world. Eileen Jones says, how long are you fans going to put up with this kind of slack nonsense? Jared Mobarak? What the fuck? While Thor's journey may be the weakest of the Avengers' tales, this entry nevertheless improves upon the first. It remains essential to the context of the whole. What he's talking about is the MCU. I think Kate Meara has a pretty long review from the United Kingdom. When Marvel brought in Alan Taylor, the director of Game of Thrones, to invigorate the Thor franchise, many hoped for a breast-bearing, dwarf-battling, blood-spurting melodrama with caves and hammers. Sadly, it was not to be. So the only good I'm getting out of this is that people think it's better than the original. The bad of Thor: The Dark World, according to these people, are that was all like fans and critics, by the way. So it was like a mix of both. They think that the characters are overused and that the special effects and the plot were generic. They didn't like the characters and they didn't like the plot. And apparently, because I wasn't watching Game of Thrones back then. I did not know that he was the director until I researched this like a week ago. So that was weird for me to find out. And now that they say it, I kind of see it, but I can totally see where they were coming from, where they really wanted a Game of Thrones style Thor, but they didn't get it because it's totally not Game of Thrones. Now, how can we improve upon these movies? According to the reviews, the fans and the critics alike, how can we improve Thor Ragnarok? Well, I think that they need to have a whole new setting. Like, let's just fuck around with a whole new setting and a different plot. Also, maybe fuck around with some character development. I don't know. Maybe make Thor feel something every once in a while and develop as a character. Character development, hence the name. Because I've never seen, well, I kind of have. Thor just kind of seems like a little bland character, kind of like Steve Rogers. And I don't know how they could develop those characters, or maybe some other new characters, maybe Hulk, or maybe, Valkyrie, or something like that. We can get some character development, because like in the past 2 films, we haven't gotten great character development. I think that's something that is lacking in these films. Now, here is Thor Ragnarok. Here is what it's doing. Now, it's sending Thor to fight Hulk on an entirely different planet. That's a new plot. They are going to have Thor's world destroyed with all his family and friends on it. Asgard, Ragnarok, whatever, hence character development. Maybe we can get some emotions out of him. And all this is going down in Guardian Space. If you don't know what Guardian Space is, it's the Guardians of the Galaxy type space that the MCU is creating with colors and fun and like really weird purples and greens and blues and pinks and whatever, from the trailer. You obviously see a bunch of colors, and that's the whole new setting. So what it seems like to me is that they actually listen to these reviews. They actually listen to the fans and everything. They actually know what we want now. And hopefully Thor Ragnarok is going to be good because it's shaping up to be a really good film. But, you know, you gotta remember everybody's, like, thoughts and wants are different. Like the guy that said Earth is better than the cosmic realm, which is totally not what 99% of everybody thinks. Everybody likes space, and because of Guardians, and everybody likes the whole idea of non-Earth Marvel Cinematic Universe. So he's wrong, but that's just the point. People, you know, they have different opinions, so don't, you know, whatever. Now, in conclusion, Thor, it may not be Iron Man with his, you know, solid movies and humor, except for 3. Iron Man 3 was a horrible film. And maybe he's not like that, but he has the humor to make up for it. And like I said earlier, with the success of Guardians and the Guardian space, a well-done Marvel space movie with Thor, a lovable character, and Hulk, you know, maybe we're getting somewhere. Plus, since these 2 movies, MCU has matured a bit, it has build up its stamina, and maybe it can take a hit if the 3rd movie is just really bad for Thor. So, you know, maybe that's also an option. I don't know. Thor just might be a bad trilogy. So what do you guys think about Thor? I don't know. Personally, I like the first one. I didn't mind the second one, and the 3rd one looks really cool to me. I don't know why everybody hates it, so let me know if you don't like it, let me know if you like it, tell me the reasons why below, and let me know what other videos you want to see me do like this, because these are so much fun to do, like the research for it and get the pictures and everything. So let me know what you guys thought about it. I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.